Hello and welcome to the show. The Bajarama circuit is going to claim 3 more victims today, starting with, well, a car designed to be crashed. This is sort of a crash test version of the Delta 88 in the most luminous of yellows. We actually have a driver in this car as well, which is quite cool. We'll see how long he stays inside the inside the vehicle. Yeah, I'm not sure how well this car is going to fare. Now, it does come with an automatic as standard. However, with some automatic gearbox, in fact, quite a lot, if you just keep going through the box, you will actually get to a point where you can put the car into a manual mode, which is quite nice. God, dear, this is the laziest engine, I think. It revs to 4,000. It's so lazy. In my car, if you're doing less than 4,000 RPM, you have really no go at all. You kind of have to be much, much higher. This thing is just the laziest engine in existence. This is not fast. Oh, this is not fast at all. I was expecting a little bit more performance, but, well, I guess crash test cards are not supposed to be quick, necessarily. There's a gear in there somewhere. Oh, please make it up here. Please make it up here. Ugh. Okay, no, we're fine. We're fine. This might be one of the slowest cars I think we've had around here. Now, the downside, of course, being a very slow vehicle is, well, radiator springs. We're never going to survive that. This is never going to make it across radiator springs if we're struggling around here. However, the plus point is that at least on these other jumps, we're not having as heavier impacts because, well, we're simply not going as fast. And that is something that does tend to kill the high-performance cars, is that they go so quickly that you can get some very, very heavy impacts, and that will tend to kill suspension. Well, radiator's gone, but, oh, God, radiator's gone before we got to radiator springs, and that's broken a lot of other things. Come on, car! Through the air! We're not going to make it! Oh, we are going to make it! We're fine! We're across the other side. I mean, that would have killed the radiator, I suspect, had it not already died. It was a relatively small impact, in fact, that killed the radiator initially. I mean, the plus point with this car is, okay, yeah, the radiator's gone. We are going to overheat. I don't know how long it's going to take to overheat, and there's a lot of overhang at the front, so there's kind of a lot of vehicle to get through in crashes before we start landing on the wheels, before we start buckling those wheels. That could come in very handy. Could come very handy indeed. Now, we're never going to have the speed here. We are just going to end up clonking the front on the floor. I need to get these takeoffs a little bit better. We need to kind of be landing straight so that we're not risking any of the wheels. Yeah, I mean, it's going to clatter around here because there's really no hope of getting nice landings in this car, and clatter around a bit more. That front suspension looks decidedly wonky. It's not quite full-on collapsed yet, which is nice. Oh, we've almost made it across the first of the doubles. That was better than I thought, actually. That was a lot closer to getting across the doubles than I was expecting. And again, oh, it's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles an hour too slow there to quite make that one. And again, yeah, we're not quite making it. However, again, the front is holding up very, very well, and that's absorbing all of these impacts. Temperature-wise, though, we are going up, and I think one of the issues we might have with this car is, and it's kind of the issue we had a little bit with the van, I think, as well, why the van overheated so quickly, is that because it is so underpowered, I am flat out almost everywhere. So we're constantly working the engine about as hard as it can go, which means it's going to overheat quicker. In fact, yeah, we're already right at the top of the, well, let's say we're at the top of the temperature gauge. Yeah, the coolant's already started overheating. It's not as bad as the Charmand that went out on its first lap with overheating. We've got slightly wonky tail light going on there. In fact, we kind of got slightly wonky tail lights on both sides. Oh, dear. I wasn't expecting that one. I mean, I can see that corner rolling like high-riding SUVs, but this thing is not massively high. It's got a little bit of wobble suspension, but that's quite impressive, really. That's a nasty crunch on the old suspension there. I don't think it's really going to matter a huge amount because we are going to have just fried the engine. Oh, we've lost all of our power as the engine's taken damage. There wasn't much to begin with. It's all evaporated completely now. All of that steam that you see coming out is that's the power. That's what's left of the power going away from the car. Oh, good God, this engine is awful. This engine is absolutely atrocious. I mean, if it can keep going, it's actually making more ground here than I really thought this was going to conk out immediately. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, it's... it's gone. That is a shocking engine. I mean, the car, mechanically speaking, because of that very, very long overhang at the front, damage-wise, is actually relatively minimal. Relatively minimal on the crash test car. However, a horrendously weedy engine meant that we had to be pretty much flat out everywhere, and that cooked it very, very quickly indeed. Well, I was hoping for better things from the Delta 88, but it was, well, not quite to be. Oh well, our crash test dummy can, well, he will live to fight another day. Probably not got a particularly healthy spine, however, he is still well inside the car. Sticking with our American theme, up next we have got the Calera. This is essentially a Dodge Charger. Plenty of power in this car. I'm hoping, again, for strength. Now, we were let down a little bit by the Delta. That didn't quite go according to plan. God, this thing has got more speed. Look at that. We have launched and we are going to crack 50 miles an hour almost immediately. That's nice. Yeah, we should have enough speed in this to make it across the jumps, and yeah, the classic American cars have generally done pretty well in this. If we can keep the radiator from getting damaged for a lap or two, maybe, if this thing is quick enough, then we could be on for a good showing. With having very soft suspension, as this car does seem to have, much as we saw with the Burnside, if they have wobble suspension, yes, that's not great when it comes to driving around a tarmac circuit, no, but we're not driving around a tarmac circuit here, and the wobble suspension can actually cushion a lot of the, at least early blows. It's going to collapse. The suspension on these cars, well, pretty much all of them will collapse before the run is done. However, again, if we can take some of the early hits, although that's not a nice one. That's not a nice one at all, but we're okay. We're okay. We're fine. We're quite sideways in this. I was actually expecting a little bit more acceleration from the Calera. Bouncy. Don't break the radiator up here. Right, get it across that. Now, launch the car towards radiator springs. Oh, it's just enough speed. It was only just. Oh, we've got problems. We've got problems with the rear axle. The rear left suspension is absolutely gone. You can see the car leaning there. That's not going to help matters. I'll be honest. That's really not going to help matters at all. It's kind of now handling quite strangely. We have sort of slight pulling around as that rear wheel is kind of flexing and moving about. This is where we might get into some trouble with the Calera. The issue, of course, rear-wheel drive cars, struggling to put power down out of some of these slower corners. Oh, and now we're just kind of rocking and shaking ourselves from side to side. It is holding up well, though. I mean, we are landing these pretty much on the nose. I'm trying to get I want to get the front of the car up. We can land the jump on the rear, I don't care. I don't care if we smack the rear on the ground. I want to make sure that the front of the car is flying with the nose in the air. Come on, Calera, we can do this. Oh, maybe not. Uh-oh, we're gone. We're going to go for a roll. That's fine. We've kind of got a slightly chopped top on our muscle car. It's slightly chopped and slightly wonkily done. Yeah, it's fine, though. I mean, it wouldn't be very comfortable if you were inside the car, in fact. Oh, yeah. It's not the best of visibilities. However, we're still working, and we are going to make it around, importantly, our first lap with no... Oh, God. Don't roll it now, you moron. Around our first lap without any major damage. It's body... Well, I say major damage, there is concerns on that rear left. But the radiator is still in one piece. We're not on fire. The wheels are still all turning. We haven't got horrendous... In fact, I think this car still drives relatively... In fact, it does drive in a straight... For a car that's driven a lap around the Bajarama circuit, this thing is about as good at driving in a straight line as anything, quite frankly. Now, try and maintain that speed. And because we haven't taken too much damage so far, we're going to be in a better shape for the second lap around. One of the things that we do see a lot with cars is they might survive the opening lap, but as they take damage around that opening, oh, we've got trouble. We've got big trouble, in fact. Oh, our rear axle is starting to really have issues now. I think we've collapsed the other side. As I was saying, and we're probably going to find out now if this is getting worse, the first lap, the cars are getting abused quite a lot, and if a car just makes radiator springs on the first lap, by the time it comes around on the second lap, where it has taken a fair bit of damage, it's slower, and then it's not going to make radiator springs, and then you're going to break something. And I fear we might be in that situation with the Calera here. Oh, that's not a fun... that rear suspension is so knackered. The car just got tipped nose down. We actually had good speed, but at the takeoff we got launched nose down into the landing of radiator springs, and, well, we've broken that. However... that might be one of the longest surviving radiators of any car. The question is, how long is it going to take for this engine to overheat? The chassis is actually now starting to get quite bowed. That is a concern, mostly for kind of knocking the drive shaft out of the car. The more and more that gets bent, the more likely it is to land kind of on the drive shaft. And of course, these sort of jumps is where it's not going to be helping. I'm sure. Actually, it doesn't really matter if I keep the nose up now. The radiator is gone, but I don't really want to land on the front wheels any more than I have to. But equally, the rear is starting to... I don't really know how I want to land these jumps now, because the rear is starting to give me trouble in that the axle's going. Well, that was... oh, no, it wasn't. It was almost perfect. If it had been, we could have got across that next jump okay, but that was not to be the case. I don't really want to... oh, God. The rear is starting to really buckle in now. We've got... oh, we're basically landing on the back of the car now across these jumps. Temperature-wise, though, we are looking good, which is nice. Ooh, we've just... oh, piss, we're too slow. Ouch. To face it. Now, that rear axle is starting to give us real trouble now. It's not always, but sometimes I'm going to put the power down. I think it's just moving about as you try to use all of the power of this engine. And the car will just randomly pull to the left or to the right, and if you're approaching a jump, you really could do without that. It might not even be the axle, it might actually be, well, I say it might not be the axle, it might be because the suspension is now so low, we're actually catching the chassis on the floor across some of the bumps around here, because there are a lot of bumps around this circuit, so that might be what is causing issues. I think the temperature gauge has started to rise. However, we are on our third lap, and we are heading our way in towards the top 10, I should think, with this, if we are not already. Ooh, I don't know if we can make another lap, though. That's bent one of the front wheels up, which is not good. First car to roll fully over in this episode. Well, first car had to... well, I say roll fully. First car had to drag onto its wheels. It's looking decidedly slammed at this stage of the, the run. Oh, God. Yeah. Now we are in a bit of bother coming up to radiator springs, I fear, because of it. I mean, the engine is now starting to overheat. It's not going to survive as long as the Grand Marshal. We're not going to be able to make another lap with the engine in this condition. We might be able to make it around to the motocross section. I'm not really sure. There we go. Smoothly does it. We might be able to make it at least onto the motocross section. Whether we can get to the end of it or not, I'm not sure. But that does rely on us being able to get across radiator springs, which I think we're going to struggle with in this. We're not going to go for first gear this time. We're going to go for second. Come on. Come on. Oh, we did it. We did it that time. That was better. It was the takeoff that killed us last time. I don't know what it was. I think it was the way that we left it, because the rear suspension was so broken, it just kind of tipped us forward. However, I did it that time around. If I'd managed to do that on the second lap, we might be looking at a record. Yeah, it's... oh, God. It's having a lot of knocks on the front, though, so who knows how long the radiator would have lasted. This is really starting to... it's an interesting condition we've got the chassis in at this moment in time. Come on, just don't use up too much of the engine's life going down here. And there's not a huge amount that I can really do at this stage. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, we can't go any further. That's impressive. It will go out eventually through overheating. It is some impressive, though... well, the chassis is very, very bowed. It was an impressive collapse of the rear, kind of the whole axle, really, that went, and that gave us no end of problems. The front wheels are incredibly tough. I mean, they are... okay, they're not perfect showroom condition, but they are pointing pretty damn straight, and we still have very, very functioning steering in the Calera, so that might be one of the better condition cars to have gone, well, 3.5 laps. That's some impressive condition of the steering, but yeah, the collapse at the rear was a little bit too much for the car, and with the radiator gone, it would overheat. Well, as I said, I thought it would do well, and it did prove to be a pretty solid car. And to finish up, we have got, well, you guys wanted to see me use an ambulance in this, so I was keen to oblige. However, I got for a little adjustment. This is the Rambulance. It is essentially a demo derby version of an ambulance, kind of stripped down a little bit, although I did just notice it might be stripped down on the exterior. However, in there's still all the ambulance stuff in the back. So yeah, it's a little bit lighter than perhaps a normal one. I'm hoping for perhaps a little... Oh, we don't have... Oh, we have got to have a crappy automatic gearbox. Completely crappy automatic gearbox. Bugger. Yeah, a little bit lighter than perhaps a normal ambulance. Potential for this to do okay. The issue with the large heavyweight vehicles, like the trucks, like the buses, they don't survive this course very well at all. In fact, none of them have made it past a lap. Because while, yes, in a crash against a car, they are very, very strong, but there is so much weight and so much force when they take the jumps, when they land the jumps that goes through the chassis, it breaks drive shafts. It just kills the drive shafts. Now, this is lighter than the T-Series, so possibly, just maybe, it can survive a little bit longer, and, you know, it will have the inherent strength of an ambulance. We've also got kind of bull bars at the front. I don't know if they're going to deflect any damage early on. Ooh, okay, no, we're fine. We're fine. We've got a... I say we've got some performance. It's... I don't know if it's quicker or slower, to be fair, than that crash test car we had at the start. It might be about as fast as that, to be honest. Although the gearbox won't be helping matters, because it's just terrible, really. Right, across a jump we go. Ooh, that's not a fun landing. One of the issues we may well see with the rear suspension of this is the back kind of getting launched up into the air. Much like we saw with the trucks and so on, I do think this is going to have similar... Oh, God. Please just come back down again. There we go. Now, Radiator Springs, a big wheelie towards Radiator Springs. It's not going to be enough. Oh, the ambulance is on fire. It's still working, though. We have taken out the radiator. I mean, if you're going to go out, you better go out. Oh, have we actually just dumped the fuel? Oh, okay, so there's a little bit of an odd trail of fuel going on behind us. I'm not quite sure what's happening with the... No, we have actually just lost... That's a new one. There was fire, and then we lost the fuel tank. And so, I don't know how long... will this run out of fuel now? Don't really... Oh, I don't think it's going to survive long enough to find out, I'm going to be honest. It likes doing wheelies. This is the most wheeling ambulance I think you'll have ever seen. Yeah, the fuel tank just clean came off. I wonder if that's still going to be on fire when we come around again next time. That could be interesting. Because I was starting to worry. The issue with the fire, while it doesn't tend to stop the cars moving per se, the Moonhawk had issues where the fire burnt through the tyres and then you lose a lot of control. However, this is fire has kind of got away. Oh, the entire side panel is falling off. I think we're going to have similar problems, actually, that we had with the Delta 88, in that because the engine is so awful, we are having to drive it pretty much flat out everywhere, and that is giving us temperature issues. Oh, that side panel is not, well, it's not really lasted at all, has it? That's off. Oh god, the suspension is holding on for dear life about now. That's a big bounce, actually. Landed very heavily on the front left wheel. We did get away with it. The front wheels are proving to be pretty damn tough on this vehicle. What's smoking over there? That, I don't know what on earth is smoking over there. There's just something randomly on fire in the bush. I'm not sure that that's my fault or not. I mean, it probably is, let's be honest. We're going to make a lap, though, with our... whatever happened with the fire in the fuel tank, our fuel isn't actually going down. Well, I mean, it's going down at a normal rate, so that's a thing that is apparently occurring. The coolant is on the overheating front, and I don't think it's going to last a huge amount longer. Yeah, these engines are just... I'm having to work them too hard simply to get around the course, and that just overheats them quicker and quicker. It has proved to be relatively tough, this. However, it is heavier than the normal van. The van went out second lap down the motocross section. It went out with overheating. But this thing is going to maybe claw its way up to Radiator Springs. That would be at best, I think. Oh, we've lost the panel on the other. We've lost the panel. Both panels. It's almost completely exposed. That's quite. I quite like that as a way of as a way of deforming, as a way of damage for the vehicle. Come on, make it up to Radiator Springs. You could do it. I mean, if we could get past Radiator Springs, you will have got further than a rally car, and that would be good going, wouldn't it? Oh, don't die now. Don't die now. I mean, this is going to hurt because we've got no speed. This is just going to be a face first into Radiator Springs. Geronimo! Oh, we've lost the roof. It's just disintegrated. It has just fallen apart, but it is going to roll. And it's going to roll, I think it's rolled further than the rally car got. It might not quite have got as far as the 200BX and the 2EMA. I think they're just a little bit further. It's all very, very close at this point. However, it beat the drag car. It beat the drag car, so the drag car died in Radiator Springs on its second lap, lost a wheel. The Rambulance, well, most of the back fell off. I really like that sort of damage going on. That's really very, very cool. The entire sort of back panels disintegrating. Yeah, pretty tough. For a heavyweight vehicle, that's not a bad showing at all from this. I mean, the front is completely buckled. However, again, much like we saw with the Calera, actually, the wheels survived very well. There were a couple of heavy landings on the front wheels. I'm surprised they didn't snap off worse. The chassis is buckled. I mean, the whole front end is bent up. You can see the angle the engine's at. That's, in fact... Hold on a second. The gearbox is pretty much pointing into the floor. If there was a physical drive shaft through there, that would have gone long ago. Because that is literally... Yeah, the chassis is buggered once more. It will be overheating that eventually kills the Rambulance, but a spectacular showing, and that's half the fun of these things, really. So it is on to our leaderboard. The Calera makes its way up into 6th place. Not able to quite get as far as the two SBR4s. The Pigeon still remains in the top 3. Yeah, Calera, incredibly strong front end to that car. Unfortunately, the rear suspension kind of letting go on it would inevitably take the radiator out and kill the engine. I mean, it beats the Bajarama, the 200BX, the I-Series race car, and so on. So, yeah, very, very good showing from that vehicle. We have to go a little bit further down, but not quite as far down as you might expect. Sort of mid-table area for the Rambulance. It does manage to just outroll the 200BX and the 2EMA down Radiator Springs, beating the Sunburst rally car and the Barstow drag car. So that's not too bad of a showing at all from that vehicle. The Delta 88 crash test car is in 26th place with its awful, just god-awful engine. However, you know, it's a distinctively mid-table result. It beats the D-Series, the Slam D-Series, the Bolide, and so on. And it wasn't that far behind the Sunburst rally car and the Barstow drag car. So, yeah, at the end of the day, when you look at it on the table, yeah, the Delta 88 not quite as terrible as you might have thought, even though it is about the slowest, miserable thing to drive on here. That car will at some point go around with a much more powerful engine, I have no doubt. However, that is going to be it for this video. As ever, I shall link all of the mods I've used in the description, so you can download them, have a go with them yourself. But thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.